Underdog Bestball segment of the week. Had a lot of fun talking best ball with you and doing these dinger drafts on Underdog. Having a lot of fun. And values are always changing. It's always a moving target. So we'll talk about some players that we're personally bumping up, the players on the rise for us personally. And number one on my list, Todd, is Miguel Vargas. Drafted him last night in the main too, but I just always find him going way lower than he should. I always jump like, I think I've been taking him like the 160s. His ADP on Underdogs around 200. So I've been jumping several rounds to get him. And as I've become more familiar with the Underdog format and just how I go about building teams, I've started to go outfielder really heavy. And that leaves me cleaning up on these infielders. And Vargas, just a great, great price. So as I'm looking to make up infielders late and get to 7 infielders, Vargas is a guy I love adding to my team.
You know, I'll be completely honest. I have not played for a little over a week. We had Tout Wars, and I had work to do when I got back. Now, one of the beauties of Underdog is, I mean, it's not, drafts at night. They're literally drafts 24/7. If there are 10 people that want to draft at the same time, it's just kind of a running roster of drafts. My point being, I can make up a lot of drafts because I can draft during the day next week before the season starts. So I'm going to make up for the lost time. I don't know exactly who are risers because I'm not sure of the field now, but in general, maybe I need to think about it more, but we only have 20 spots. I want to kind of, at least in my estimation, know the guys playing and playing regularly. And I don't know that Vargas is there for me yet. On the other hand, when there's 2.5 million, well, maybe not 2.5 million, when there's so many people playing this game and you want to win, you want to win the overall, you need differentiation, and Vargas is perfect for that. So I see the plus, and this is the same thinking I have in DFS, where I'm a cash game player because I want safety. I know to win the tournaments, you need to take a chance on some of these guys, and it's just not completely built in. Now, we have so many Underdog teams that I probably should take a chance on a Vargas and more of them. So I'm writing that down. Vargas. VA. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers are high on him, and I think they're going to need him in the middle of that lineup. I had top 5 players on the rise, but these 2 I bundled together, and it's kind of cheating because they're getting a ton of helium in the NFBC. But Jeffrey Springs and Drew Rasmussen, both guys really exciting, and pretty much you can throw their ADP out the window at this point. If you want them, you're going to have to jump them quite a bit, and I've been seeing them go earlier and earlier, and I've been the one forcing the issue on occasion on both Springs and Rasmussen. So 2 players very much on the rise for me, both in Underdog and in Standard Roto.
Yeah, I'm looking through my rostership levels, and I know I have a lot of Rasmussen, and I'm at the point where I have him on at least 4 teams, and I haven't seen Rasmussen's name yet, so I have him on more than 4 teams. So I agree with you on Rasmussen. Yeah, you know what? Springs is the way to get the differentiation, and he throws innings, and that counts. That counts on Underdog. And I love Tampa pitching in general, so I kind of am with both of those picks.
Next up on my top 5 players on the rise on Underdog, Hayden Wesneski. Love what this kid is showing this spring, and we talked a little bit about him on XM, and just been catching the attention of a lot of people. I think we talked about him on this show too. They all run together a little bit, but 2.12 ERA this spring, 22-6 K to walk in 17 innings. He's there way late. I wouldn't wait until your final rounds, but final few rounds, I'd make sure you get Hayden Wesneski on your team. I love him as a 6th or 7th pitcher on your team.
Yeah, I'm kind of frowning right now because I'm seeing Brendan Rodgers on 8 teams and Vaughn Grissom on 7. Oh, well, these are like my, like you say, 6 and 7.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving up on Grissom yet. We didn't talk about him at all yet so far. So,
but yeah, I mean, I know you were very much invested.
I'm
sorry, but no, sure, you'll be fine.
We can when we're past the Underdog, we can move into that. But yeah, Wisniewski, I'm only drafting 6 pitchers now. Do I trust him enough to pitch all year long? I think it depends upon who's available. I mean, I'm not taking Nick Pivetta, who's often available late, guys like that. So I can see shooting for the Stars with Wesneski, absolutely.
So I've been doing the 7-7-6 roster breakdown. You're no longer doing that? Seven pitchers, 7 infielders, 6
I'm to
outfielders.
6 pitchers. Talking to Scott from Baseball on, I think, our podcast. He suggests 6-7-7. Mainly,
Yeah, okay.
and
Because for me, outfield is so ugly that I don't want to get a 7th one. But
that's one reason to do it is you have another shot for someone to jump in, and
that's a good point.
And I kind of agree with him in that you want the reason to do this is to get a couple of really good starters and lock in maybe your 2 guys that are going to get in there every week, and now you have 4 guys because the lineups as 3 pitchers, 3 infielders, 3 outfielders, and a flex. Then the other 4 pitchers battling for that final pitching spot as opposed to 5 pitchers battling. So, and to get that extra infielder or outfielder. So that's what early on it was 7 pitchers. I've been at 6 lately, and trying to get a couple of aces early. It helps that I'm on Wheeler and Gausman, who, at least when I was playing a couple of weeks ago, I was ahead of the market, so I knew I could get them. I don't know how it is now.
Yeah, I just think the roster construction is an interesting part of the Underdog and something I've had to learn. And I think it's definitely very different building a team on Underdog compared to just the standard Roto League. Next up on my list of players on the rise in Underdog, Jurickson Profar. All has to do with him landing in Colorado. So I've been taking him over guys like Jake Fraley and those types as one of my final outfielders. And as I was doing the board for NL Labor last weekend, and Peter Kreutzer got Profar for like $3 or $4 in the NL only.
Yeah.
$3. And then he signed with Colorado like 15 minutes later. So it was great timing for him. And now that he has this landing spot, because the outfield gets so ugly, I like jumping Profar way ahead of ADP. He'll be buried on Underdog for the time being.
Yeah, I'm looking. I got him in one league, and just why not? And this is months ago or weeks ago. All right, best ball. You want to embrace variance. You want to embrace splits. Yeah, there are going to be weeks where Colorado's home 7 games, and Profar is your third outfielder. To me, that's what you're looking for with those outfielders at the end. You're looking for reasons for them to have a spike week, good ballpark, that sort of thing.
And my number 5 players on the rise, we talked about it earlier, and I gave a spoiler alert. James Outman. Just another situation where, look, it gets hairy there. Outfield is so pushed up on Underdog. Why not take a chance on him over Nelson Cruz or some of those really ugly outfielders at the end? Outman is buried by ADP, but I noticed last night I did a couple after my main event because I still had the itch. And I'm loving Underdog. Just knock out a draft super quickly. And I missed Outman in the main event, so I got him late in a few subsequent Underdogs. And old for his level, but numbers scouting just looks really strong, James Outman.
Yeah, I'm just not sure that if it's my 7th outfielder and I'm looking for differentiation, yes, because those few weeks he pops into that number 3 spot, you could be getting more points than everybody else. Now, I know it's not what we're talking about. You mentioned buried in ADP. It is so easy to download their being Underdog's CSV rankings and either copy paste your rankings using Excel lookups and all that stuff, or just simply, cut, paste, and, rearrange that sheet, re-upload it. So you're not looking at their ADP, you're looking at your rankings. Their ADP is listed, but he's not buried if you're using your rankings. And it's so easy to input your own rankings.
Yeah, I just mean if you don't have that and you're just doing it on your phone or whatever, you may want to throw them in your queue so you don't forget.
Right. No, absolutely. I'm just saying it's a boon of this site where it's just so easy to take their CSV, alter it, and put it back in, and you get your rankings.
Yeah, totally. That's a great feature of Underdog. And that'll do it for our Underdog Best Ball segment of the week.
Underdog.
I've had a ton of fun playing Underdog, and I'm going to be doing I got about $90 on my account still, so I'm going to be doing about a draft per night every day until opening day. And I also want to just give you a little bit more information about Underdog. The fantasy baseball season is underway, and there's no better place to play than Underdog Fantasy, the easiest place to play fantasy baseball. Right now, Underdog has MLB Bestball tournaments live, including the Dinger, which I've been playing a lot. The Dinger has $500,000 in total prizes. In Best Ball, all you do is join a contest, draft your team, and that's it. There are no waivers, no trades, and no in-season management. Draft 20 rounds of players and get the best cumulative scores in your starting lineups each week. That's 3 pitchers, 3 infielders, 3 outfielders, and 1 flex. Getting started is simple. Go to underdogfantasy.com, sign up with promo code RWMLB, and not only will Underdog double your initial deposit up to $100, but you'll also get 6 months of our RotoWire subscription for free. Again, that's Underdog Fantasy promo code RWMLB. Draft your $100,000 Dinger team today. Well, I already have the $100,000 team drafted, so you can aim for second place on Underdog.